Everybody, welcome to the video, and today we're gonna hit up Savers first, then we're gonna go over to Goodwill. So welcome to Savers. Nothing, don't really find too much, but I'll walk you guys through the shelves anyway. We just happen to be donating, so might as well hop in really quick. We're right there. And again, just like it's Savers, so I go start over at the glass, take a look. This guy over here is just like standing behind the little cage. You're not supposed to do that. But I guess he was going to do whatever he wanted to do. But he wanted to go in there and look at this. What do you call it? There's a saddle back there. He was determined to look at that saddle and get that saddle. Some of the same stuff from my earlier Savers video. Personally, I don't do saddles. I don't know how to ship. I mean, I know how to ship those out. It's just that's a whole different ball game. Gonna quickly move here through the purses and the wallets. Nothing too exciting. That's what I found with Savers. You got to give it, a week or two to kind of recharge. Yeah, they're constantly bringing stuff out, but if I go there too closely between trips, you just see the same old stuff. Whereas at Goodwills in our area, they're you'll see the same stuff, yes, but they're constantly bringing out bins, constantly refreshing. Especially one Goodwill in my area, they're always turning over stuff. So we're gonna move quickly, get through the clothes. I prefer not to do clothes. That is a preference of mine. I do sell some clothes. Cool clothes. At least what I think is cool. And but generally, it's not what I like doing or what I like putting in my eBay store. So I'm quickly, as you can tell, like with a lot of the thrift stores in our area, don't know about other areas, they all the clothes are front and center. Not new Goodwill, but the Goodwill just remodeled. They remodeled and put the clothes front and center. So I'm going straight for hard goods, looking at toys or something. All right. Always kids in the toy aisles of any thrift store, any store, I think, for that matter. Everybody's looking for toys. Bunch of adults looking for toys. I'm looking for toys. Nothing really good here. Typical to not, to really find, for me, not to really find toys that I would resell on shelves at the Goodwill or Savers. I have a guy usually that will has toys that I buy toys from. Like I said, it's they do a lot of Target liquidation, I guess, or Target return, or Target stuff that Target doesn't put on the shelves, or stuff that's been on the shelves too long, and they usually get it at a pretty steep discount. Usually, yeah, not all the time. So sometimes they do. Sometimes it's priced where I can't buy it and make a profit, but majority of the time I usually buy a lot. So, again, looking for graphic novels. That's why I come to Savers primarily, is to look for graphic novels or books that have value. And the reason why is because I found them here before. on numerous occasions. So I always try to get to this area to see what's there. Also, too, sometimes I found valuable games that are hidden on these shelves back here with the books. So I'm always just pretty thorough in looking through the book section. And then I came across these Japanese books here, a whole bunch of them. And I'm trying to comp them out, trying to see. It looks like over in Japan they sell, and within the US it doesn't look very good. A lot unsold. So a lot listed, nothing sold within the US. A lot of overseas sales. So I mean, is it worth it? Possibly. But as far as sales overseas, it's a little more challenging just because of the shipping costs. So you might not see those overseas sales, or I should say international sales, that much because of the cost of the shipping. So I'm going to leave that there, and there's a bunch of them here. I mean, I was kind of wishing and hoping they would be worth something, because look at all those. And this is how I found some of those like Star Wars novels, Dungeons and Dragons, just stacked full. Like someone just donated their whole collection like this. And each time I would end up with probably like 40 or 50 graphic novels. Pretty wild. Especially when you look up the value of a lot of them. The Star Wars ones definitely turned out to be the heavier hitters. Some of them worth upwards of $250 a book. Most recently was the Dungeons and Dragons strategy guides, and those were all right around $30 to $40 a book. But I got them all here, and they were all $2.99 or $3.99 each. And then if you buy, I forget, I think you buy 4, you get 1 free. And then of course you have your 20% off coupon. 20% off coupon if you make a donation at Savers. You can use it on almost, I think, everything within the store, but there is a $100 limit on it. So, or I should say, you get 20% off. The limit's actually $20 because once you get up to $100, you get $20 off, and that's where the cutoff is. So the max you can get is $20 off of a $100 purchase or $100 purchase. The 20% applies to your first $100 you spend or less. That's the phrase I'm looking for. It's early in the morning when I'm trying to do this recording. Books, definitely keep an eye on books, especially popular titles, and especially if they're complete here and they have the sleeve and everything. But it is a tough category to turn a profit. Generally, I would buy books at the flea market or at garage sales. Usually better deals. Especially for these books are a little bit lower end. They're probably about $5 to $10 books. And if you get enough of them, I mean, it could be good profit. And if you get quite a bit of them, it might be a good idea to look towards Amazon, because generally everybody can sell books on Amazon. Some books are you won't be able to. Just like a lot of like hard goods and stuff, generally are kind of blocked in the beginning. But books, I think everybody can jump in on Amazon and sell books. I mean, but I don't do too many books. I just look for
1966.
the bigger profitable ones that will bring me a profit on eBay. And most books will ship media mail. Comics and stuff do not. And that's just you get a reduced shipping for media. Look it up, Google it. Media mail on USPS and it'll tell you exactly what can go media mail and what can't go media mail. And don't try to get around the system because they do periodically check your packages to ensure that it's being shipped properly. A lot listed at high prices, but the actual sales weren't very good. Well, this was Journey to the Center of the Earth, so. And sometimes, if I find something that's okay profit, but I'm not finding anything else on the shelves, usually I'll just leave it behind. I'll leave it for someone else to find. I usually like to have a decent amount of stuff in my cart, and by decent I mean maybe 3 pieces at least, depending upon the profit value, of course, in order for me to go through the whole checkout process. Sometimes the best advice is not to buy at all. Save your money for better profitable items. Yeah, let's go about the other book. Like, someone donated a nice book collection. Some of the popular titles and everything. Good condition. They have the sleeves and everything.
1941.
Just not worth it to resell. But we're going to leave that behind and go for a walk down the baggie aisle before we head on out. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys spot anything here. Oh, I forgot. There's one more book aisle before. Oh, I saw something caught my eye. One more book aisle here before we head down the baggie aisle. There's that thing. So you buy 4 books, get the 5th one for free. So definitely, if you find valuable books here, and you find multiple valuable books, all those little deals will help you. Looking at keyboards. I love keyboards. Peripherals is the word. Basically just like your mice, your keyboards. It's the stuff you plug into your computer to interact with it. So last time I was here, I didn't look at the golf clubs. I'm gonna glance at those really quick, but nothing very good. I'm just looking side-eyeing them. Taking a peek. Should I go down the aisle? Should I not? Looks the same. It looks the same as the other day, so. Yeah, there could be 1 or 2 things, but we had already planned to go to Goodwill a little bit later, so. Or the plan was to go to a couple of Goodwills today and not stop at Savers. I'm sorry. Make the donation, but not go into Savers was the plan. Correction. Baggy wall here. Take a look. Let me know. Let me know what you see. Is this a good baggy wall? Not every thrift store in our area has baggy walls. I see them a lot. I see a lot on other channels I watch. Like, their Goodwills have baggy walls. There's good stuff on those baggy walls. Savers, I found candles, small candles in here that turned out to be worth pretty good, like Yankee Candle. But today there is nothing on the baggy wall. A bag of potatoes, artificial potatoes. Yeah, nothing. Woman trying on some Nike slippers there, which actually look pretty cool. Wish I would have found those. Figured out what the price is. It was a pretty hot day today. Very hot. Not sure where you guys live. I'm in San Jose, California. And we had a bit of a heat wave this past week. And so once it gets into the 90s, that's it. It is hot. Way too hot. We're all dying when it gets into the 90s. That was a piece of flashed glass. So not color, not it, the glass was. It's not a colored glass. The glass was made to, was given that color. So you can tell when they make the glass and it's not like it's not already like a purple or like a a colored like red glass or milk glass. You can tell when it's been applied after the fact by usually you can kind of scratch it just a little bit with your fingernail, but it's usually already coming off. Now we're popping over to Goodwill.
Oh yeah.
This woman here with the plaid.
Whoa, that's a good set.
I had never seen her here at this Goodwill before. This is my first time seeing her. And as I was looking at stuff, I could tell. I initially thought she was a shopper. But she started talking about, I heard her talking to somebody else fairly loudly about filming within the store. And it's not, it's not, I've been filming in these Goodwills. I've seen people film these Goodwills. I know I'm just starting to post my video of the Goodwills. So it's not anything that is, it's not against like the rules here. We are out in public, but it seemed like she was making a big deal about it because I could hear her talking about it. But I've never run into any issues, and she's a new person here, so I've never seen her before, and I've gotten to know, not necessarily on a personal level, but just like just from going to Goodwills all the time, I've gotten to know, like, see all the faces, see who's there. Another AIO or all-in-one cooler. I don't know if you guys saw that, but on the box it said bad pump, so I'm passing that up. We're not going to pick that up. And it was incomplete. It was just the radiator, so it wasn't didn't have the fans or any of the mounting mechanisms or anything for the computer. I'm going to move down towards the pictures here. And this Goodwill, I found little servers or NAS, network attached storage devices. So that's what I tend to go look for first, just because it has a history of being here. And so I'm going to go take a peek and see if they are here. But I've sold those for pretty good money. And they usually have them priced pretty well. Saw what looked like a nice older leather bag, but it wasn't. And again, I can tell by the feel, just when you start picking it up, you get used to it. The more you do it, or the more you're involved with that product, the more used to the quality, what's authentic, what's old, what's new. You just get used to it over time. And as a reseller, it's kind of hard because you just don't, especially if you're selling the same stuff all the time, you just don't come across it that often. Which is why I recommend people, if they do want to try to get into that arena of bags, purses, go to stores that sell those items, authentic ones, Macy's, Nordstrom, Trying to think where else. I mean, I don't think you can walk into like a Gucci store and just start looking over all their bags. I mean, I'm pretty sure it'd be fine, but um, I think at a department store would be better. Wouldn't look so suspicious at a department store. But you getting used to them, see what they look like, check out the stitching. If they have like tag, like Coach has the tag on the inside, you can look that up. Get familiarize yourself with what the tag looks like, how it's embossed, all that, and that will help you, in the long run, identify, higher end purses. I saw this Rawlings glove, a Wilson. Now we're kind of out of season right now for baseball's in the middle, getting towards the end of the season, so a lot of activities are ending. Not just Major League Baseball, but also schools and leagues. Although baseball is played year round, there is winter ball. So when I was younger, it was happening all the time. Pickup games. I mean, pickup games in baseball aren't like pickup games in basketball. You can just basketball's a little easier. Baseball, you need a lot of equipment, more players. Check out these toys. What do we have here? I was debating whether or not to get those pops. It had a decent sell-through rate, even though the characters aren't, the most popular. They're from the Guardians of the Galaxy series, and they were the super bright colors. They were priced at about $6, like $5.69, and I was thinking maybe about $10 profit on each of them. There was a bunch of them there, but I mean, there was a lot listed and a lot sold. So I wasn't. Oh man, I was going back and forth. Wasn't sure, but I left them. I was like, I just didn't want to have a bunch of inventory sitting around. And pops, and like I've said before, I'm not really a big pop. I'm not really a big pop guy. There are a lot of pops. People love pops. Not me. And here's some more knick-knack aisle. Knick-knacks, gotta look through these. I guess this would be kind of considered like the baggie wall of Goodwill. They do put stuff in baggies, but usually it ends up in a knick-knack aisle. Toys, nothing very good. That yellow house might have been like a Calico Critters, which Calico Critters are a good thing to look out for if you do find them out there. They do sell pretty well. Although I've come across them before, and they just priced too high. I'm seeing a little stuffed animal here. This is sold in Disneyland, and I'm familiar with it because we go to Disneyland quite often. Turns out, after looking it up later, I think my wife looked it up for me, and it only goes for like 12, maybe 15. It might have been a stretch. So I'm gonna definitely leave that behind. Scouring these electronic shelves, I'm like, there's gotta be something. See, I haven't found those little servers or NAS devices recently. So, everything's getting stored in my memory banks. Everything's getting, processing. So I might not start, in that section anymore for a little while until I find some more things. Baskets and linens, not something I really deal too much in. In the basket section, the big popular one is Longburger, but generally it's incomplete. It has those baskets have a plastic liner and a fabric liner. So you got to make sure it's all together, first of all. And the value, I just think probably the market's been too flooded with Longburgers because the value isn't really there. There are some smaller stuff, more miniature sized Longaburger that does pretty well. Um, I bought and sold some ones that like most recently it was like an apple basket, but it would in reality it only holds like one apple, so it was more like a collector's piece than actually stacking apples in it because it was tiny.
No,
You would only put one apple and that would be it.
Look at
This mug here is not.
that. Yeah. Serious.
Typically we
It's a big one, though.
find this style
That's
of mug,
ridiculous.
and it's usually handmade by an artist.
I'm trying to think where that was
Don't can't remember what the artist's name was, but they are signed. This one here was just a made in China one, but I had the same style of mug that we pick up,
so far down.
and I like the graphic on it. Kind of had a wintry theme to it, so Christmas theme. We're gonna pick it up. Then I spot this box here. This is so unusual because I just,
Oh my goodness.
I talked about things remembered in a video, and this is a things remembered piece.
Things remembered.
For those of you that maybe didn't see the video or don't know things remembered, it was a store inside most malls, and they would have all kinds of, it tended to be higher end, but it was mostly made in China stuff that you could personalize. All this stuff was good quality stuff, frames, things for desks, things you can. Yeah, basically the whole goal was to personalize that item. You would have a higher end item, at least looked higher end, and it'd be able to be personalized, engraved there at the store. So they get a lot of trophies, photo albums, like my first baby, first Christmas, all that kind of stuff. And so this was a snow globe that they had, which I left there on the shelf, but my wife goes back and picks it up after I look it up really quick. But just because it's a snow globe. So typically my advice regarding snow globes is don't buy them. There's not usually much value in snow globes. And they're usually the water's coming out, which I don't know how the water escapes the snow globe. I guess maybe the glue on the inside gets old, but just the water's coming out. Whatever they put inside the water is deteriorating and looking funky. The discoloration in the water. So snow globes are, it's tough. Some snow globes are worth money, yes. Definitely check comps, which what I'm doing here, just because it is a things remembered piece. So I am looking it up, I'm double checking, doing my homework, and my wife will go pick it up later. So I'm looking here at the purses. Nothing really that great. Right in front of me is that red eel skin. It's very soft. That's a Bagalini, which a little too dirty. But that's like that eel skin can kind of fool you because it's very soft, very nice. Very nice. What do you call it? Fabric, or very nice eel skin. But it doesn't sell very well. That kind of felt like a nice piece, but it wasn't. That teal one is the one I'm going to pick up, though. That is a Matwaski, I believe. I will do a deeper dive towards the end. I can't pronounce the name right, but I do recognize the name. And I'm going to just comp it out really quick. It's priced at $10, so I'm just going to double check, do my homework, always double check. Trends change, styles change. What was trendy and going for good money can easily change in a matter of a few months. especially with changing seasons too. But that purse should go for about right around $50. I'm thinking I'll probably price it about 60 and then see what happens. Checking out the rest of the purses here now, seeing what else is hopefully a little underpriced. If it is, if it is a decent brand or good quality. This was kind of interesting, but the lining was not good. But it had that old vintagey Coach look to it. Cool leather, like a satchel bag. Crossbodies are very big right now. I mean, crossbodies are what people want. They're in style. Checking out their glass area. This Goodwill puts a lot of glass items in their glass section.
Good stuff.
Which most of the Goodwills in my area typically don't do that, but they have a lot in here.
Look at that guy for me.
I guess they think they're antiques, but not very good. We're going to scan through here really quick. Purses all look like fairly modern designer brands.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Which don't do too well. Even Coach, I mean, 30, 40 bucks, is the going rate for more modern, common styles. Checking out their higher end shoes. They have a mannequin that's always in the window here that always fools me. I always think it's a person standing there. But looking at their little electronics down here, and then peering across, they have this little stand. I think the last time I picked up a camera here. And I'm spotting that Lego set right there. It's an Avengers. I think it's the one that's like, if I'm not mistaken, 4 years and older type of set. So the pieces tend to be a lot less. Because I'm not recognizing the set. Like, I'm looking at the back of it, and I don't recognize. But then again, it has a bunch of little pieces to it. I think it's just easier to build.
Seriously?
And it would be good money, depending upon the price. Has some good minifigures in it.
What are they, $4?
But it depends on the price, and I'm going to ask the guy, I'm going to look at it, and it's all loose on the inside. But that'll wrap it up for this video here, or I should say this part of the video, because we're going to do the recap right now. Okay, so here we are, recapping what we found. Some of this stuff I was working on listing, so like this stuff in the corner, that was from the flea market. First off, I got this mug. This is probably a keeper because my wife likes this style, and I do too. I like this style of mug, and I haven't seen one like this before. They're usually signed, who I can't really figure out who the artist is that actually makes these style. This isn't that artist. This looks like a I think it's just said made in China on there under the sticker. But there's an artist that actually makes this style of mug. This part actually goes in a little bit deeper here. And it's kind of cool because you just kind of hold it, kind of warms your hands as you have your, coffee or tea, whatever you're going to use it for. Just a really cool mug here. And, I mean, we're going to keep it. But the other mugs, mugs like that, like this style here that we've had before, they go, they sell for about, I did look them up. I scanned them in. I didn't bother really pricing them because we were keeping them. When I scanned them, they're about $25 or so. About $20, $25 for those mugs. Pretty cool mugs. This one I don't know. I'm not going to bother even looking it up. But it was $3.69. Just a cool kind of wintry theme, Christmas theme type of mug. And it's a bigger mug too. It's bigger than the ones we have of this style. So we're going to keep that for sure. Now, I found it kind of odd that I had mentioned in my previous video about the Things Remembered store. Because I saw this on the shelves, and as you saw in the video, this is a Things Remembered
Kind of strange. I was just talking about it, and to be on the lookout for those things, and this came up. This was Make-A-Wish. You saw me put it back, though, on the shelves, and the reason was because it was a snow globe. And snow globes typically don't do too well. But upon further review, this one sells pretty well, like $40 for this snow globe. And it was $6.09 in the Goodwill. And I told my wife, go grab that one before we go. It's going to be worth it. So here's a closer look. It's a snow globe, and generally I do not recommend picking up snow globes. I just don't do it. I just don't pick up snow globes. I don't recommend picking up snow globes. But this one happens to be worth it. It was a Things Remembered. I was caught off guard because I had just talked about that, Things Remembered. And I'm like, what? Crazy. So, cool snow globe. So we checked it out. It's no cracks or anything. It's got all the water in there. It's got the the snow globe effect. It's a music box. I mean, it's pretty cool. There it goes right there. So it's Christmas. Pretty cool. So, anybody that, I don't know, maybe someone can get it personalized or whatever if they really want to, but there's a snow globe. There's an exceptions to every rule, I'm telling you. I'm going to tell you, I was just, or I should say, I tell people don't pick up snow globes, and all of a sudden, what do we find? A snow globe that's worth it. So, there we go. And not only that, but look at it, has the original box, original styrofoam here. So great, it's already like pre-packaged for me. So, that's pretty cool, pretty weird, but it happens. And it's going to be a good profit on that. Next up here we have some shoes. These are Allbirds. Used to be a lot more desirable, but it's kind of gone down a little bit. However, this style appears to still go for about $30 to $40, and it was $13.49. It's all wool. It's still in great condition. I mean, the great tread. There's no tears or anything in it. Just a great pair of shoes, Allbirds. So it still has a name that is still recognizable, still resellable, and we can still make a good profit on it. It might, right now it's summertime, so it might take a while to sell. These are probably more like fall, winter shoes. But nonetheless, still a great pair of shoes, well made, great condition, and we should get, hopefully make at least $20-25 on those. That'll be good. Now, the big hit of the day was the purse here. I forget, I can't pronounce the name. McWhiskey. But look out for this brand. It's usually in the higher end when it's, when Goodwill has it, they'll price it up a bit. Luckily, this one here was actually priced pretty good. Where's the tag at? Priced at $10. And it should be a $40 to $50 purse. Just a nice, well-made purse, leather. It's got a great color to it. It really has that eye appeal. There is some wear here on the strap, which, to be expected from a used purse, but no real cracking or anything in the leather. Looking at the bottom too, from where, where people set them down. Not too much wear, a little bit of wear, in the corners. Again, to be expected. Otherwise, not bad. No rips, no stains. It's got a nice, it's nice and well beaded. It's got a great little like a accent, like a belt accent here. That's pretty cool. So should be about about $50, $50 to $60 on this purse is what we're looking at. So keep your eye out for this brand. Here's the inside right here. Here's what it looks like. So keep your eye out. Definitely one. It's one they'll price up, so be careful what you're paying for it. So at $10, I feel comfortable paying that and being able to make at least, probably $30, maybe $40 on that purse. We'll see. I'll probably price about $60 and see where it goes. But those are the few things I picked up. You saw me walking to Savers earlier in the day. Me and my wife, we were out and about. We just happened to be donating, and like, let's go and walk into Savers. So we did, and as you can see, we walked out with nothing. I checked out a few books that, you know, when I look for books, you know, I'm making sure they're complete, making sure they're older, making sure they're a well-known title, but those weren't worth it. And the whole trip, you know, to Savers, it was worth it because we were donating. However, if we were, you know, actively searching for inventory, it didn't look that great for us. So, but we already had plans to go to Goodwill. So we headed out to Goodwill, got a few things. We did go to another Goodwill, so I'll be posting a video of that soon as well. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and thank you all the new subscribers. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of what I bought. What do you think about? I just mentioned Things Remembered, that old store. Do you guys remember that store? And all of a sudden, boom, Things Remembered item pops up. I don't know. Strange. Please like, comment down below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.